In recent time, the Jamaica Public Service Company has bolded and has blatantly admitted that legal paying customers are footing the bill for persons who are stealing electricity. Nowhere else in the world I assume that this would be allowed to happen. But the JPS know that they can get away with this practice. They know that admitting this would be of no consequence to them. So that is why they can boldly admitting to stealing from us, because it is what it is. It is literally stealing from us. And the government is also complicit with JPS because the government owns, I think, 20% shares in JPS as well. The government don't really care about us, It's once they can get a cut, they will allow any company to operate under any guidelines in Jamaica. Once they can get their cut, which is their 16% tax, they will allow any company to mistreat the people. So, I'm going to look at why first world corporations like to operate in third world countries. There are several obvious reasons. One, cheap labor. First world companies and first world countries, they tend most of the time to have a strong economy. And a strong economy will reflect in their money, meaning their money is usually stronger than third world countries. Perfect example, America. $1 or $1 is equivalent to 145 Jamaican dollars. So, cheap labor is obvious reason, as well as the exchange rate, because third world countries tend to have cheaper labor. So that is why first world corporations like to operate in third world countries. Number two, lack of proper regulations for workers' safety. That is another reason why first world corporations like to operate in third world countries, because they don't have to follow strict guidelines as it relates to workers' rights, workers' safety, and even if these laws are in place, they pay scant regards to them. And even if they are caught breaking these laws and regulations, they get a slap on the wrist and it's business as usual. So they like to operate in third world countries for these reasons. Number three, corrupt officials. Operating in third world countries, first world corporations can bribe their way through anything. So operating in a third world country, they can pay off corrupt officials to get their business done quicker, or to cut corners to get things done, because it's easy to pay a corrupt official a certain amount of money or whatever incentive they are paying them to get their needs met. So they tend to like to operate in third world countries because corrupt officials will just take a bribe to look the other way. Number four, lack of competition. And this is where JPS comes in. You have JPS operating a monopoly. They have no other competitor. And that is why they can be so bold and brazen, admitting that we, the legal paying customers, are paying for those who are stealing electricity, because they know that they are operating a monopoly and there are certain things that they will get away with because of lack of competition. Number five, overall lack of accountability and oversight by the government. And I come back to JPS. The regulatory body that should be regulating JPS is the OUR. And most Jamaicans can agree or will agree that they are doing a very poor job in doing so. So this lack of accountability, lack of oversight by the government, and this is why first world corporations enjoy the pleasure of operating in third world countries.